Well, good morning, everyone. This is Pastor Susan. I am the lead pastor of Florence Christian Church, and welcome to the Midweekly, a time during the middle of the week when we're checking in with each other and thinking about our lives of faith. And so I just want to begin by sharing a quick story with you of something that happened this past weekend. I was able to participate in something called Forest Church. And I'm going to put a link in the notes in just a minute to tell you how you can learn about Forest Church. But basically, it is an opportunity to come together and be in nature. We go to the tree trail up in Fort Thomas, and it is a wonderful place to just be in the midst of the foliage. And I've been doing this for a little while. We meet a couple of times a month. And during the different seasons, it's a totally different experience. But this time I really enjoyed being there. It was not so cold, or it's not so warm that I couldn't enjoy being there. We do it at 10 o'clock in the morning. We gather together and we do some stretching and we do some check-in with each other. And then we go and we just be. Observe, be in awe of God's creation, reflect on what we see and how we experience that creation. And then we come back together to unpack that a little bit and have communion together. It's an hour of time that is well spent, and I so enjoyed it. It's good for my soul. This time, it's really interesting because there's a walking trail and that kind of stuff, and I usually stop and I sit and look for a while. This time, I really was paying attention to what I was hearing rather than what I was seeing. Heard some cicadas. I heard a lot of bird song. I heard traffic, just being aware of the surroundings around me. But I was realizing I wasn't seeing any of the wildlife. I was looking, and all of a sudden I started to think about, I sure would love to see a butterfly. I just like to see a butterfly. And I'm walking down the trail and I'm almost finished with my time, and lo and behold, there appears a butterfly. And so I decided to go after it. I wanted to take a picture of it because it just was a serendipity moment when I got to see it. But it was fluttering around, and I got to close to where it was, and then it kind of flew away. So I followed it, and I kept saying, "Please come back to me. Please come back to me." And it did. It did. And it rested on a leaf, and I got a beautiful picture. But as I was watching this butterfly, I noticed how it just fluttered and hovered. And today I'd like to talk about hovering, because that's actually what we're going to be talking about on Sunday. What does it mean to hover? What does it mean to get above so that you can see a bigger picture? And you might remember Genesis chapter 1, where it talks about in verse 2 that before all of the creation started, that God's Spirit hovered over the deep, hovered over the void, and began to create. And today I want to encourage us, because I know how easy it is to get so busy that we forget to be reflective. We forget to get above all of the urgencies and the crises and the things that would distract us from paying attention to what is around us and asking God to help us to see more clearly the way God sees. And so anyway, we're going to be talking a lot more about that on Sunday. I want to invite those of you who may be in the tri-state area to come and visit us at Florence Christian Church. I'll put the website in our notes today. Come and join us at 10 o'clock for worship, and we will be exploring together what it means to draw close to God as we hover. So join us, and I pray today that you and I will take a moment to breathe, to be still, to know that God is God, and to ask God to show us what we need to see. Maybe so. Amen and amen.